Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, before I do jump into this video, I do just want to quickly say that I am recording this ahead of time due to traveling for the holiday. I hope everybody's having a great weekend, a great holiday if you do celebrate it, a great day or a great night wherever you guys are nonetheless. But today I do want to talk to you guys about some deep connections to possibly Swift that does $5 trillion a day in volume. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be addressing it. We're going to be addressing a few things with Emtech and stuff like that. So, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things first. So, obviously, the market from what I'm seeing currently, of course, please note that this is going to be a day behind. But things do look pretty solid overall. Of course, I do think that Monday is going to be the day that everything kind of, takes a little bit of a different turn. That's where I really do start to watch the market closely. But besides that, HBAR, sorry, not XRP, HBAR has been kind of just ranging around the 20-cent zone for the most part. Has been kind of bouncing off, the 19.5-cent zone here and there. Really kind of just testing those, lows that we just recently had, going back as far as like the 11th, right, which is only like 4 days ago. But it's still something to really kind of look at, or it's actually technically 5 days ago now. But yeah, I mean, when we look at this, it's still just kind of bouncing around the support and resistance zone, similar to other altcoins currently. Even if you look at the total 2 chart on TradingView, it really kind of can show you guys that too. Like, we're just basically between resistance and support. So, right now, the entire altcoin market is kind of sitting sideways, sort of in a crab walk. I know it sucks, but hey, that's what we have to deal with until we do see that nice impulsive move on Bitcoin, which will most likely happen this upcoming week when we do see, of course, the indices and the dollar reopen. Now, with that being said, let's move on and let's talk about a few things. So, Hedera did upgrade the mainnet to v0.24.2. Now, this was only down for about roughly 3 minutes and 9 seconds. A lot of people were saying, let's focus on zero downtime. And, we do see Christian Asker saying, that isn't likely, but upgrade window will be very short. Honestly, 3 minutes and 9 seconds compared to most is pretty short compared to most. And we even see, this is a major achievement by Hedera. Mainnet upgrade downtime, has been improved down to about 3 minutes. We are getting really, really close to version 1. Things are definitely something to really kind of watch for, especially within, again, these upgrades. Why is 3 minutes downtime, something pretty, short compared to most? Well, look at the downtime of some of these other networks. Like, for an example, even like Solana, right? When it got DDoS, it was down for days. So, 3 minutes compared to most is not that bad at all. Even when you look at most networks on a day-to-day basis, when they do have upgrades, the networks do go down for, sometimes 10 plus minutes, 20 minutes, even hours. So 3 minutes and 9 seconds, that's something that is, commemorable. So shout out to, Hedera for continuing to hit the efficiency tab right on the head. So with that being said, let's move on and let's talk about Stater. So I have been watching Stater very closely. Obviously, we've been seeing the TVL kind of slowing down at around the $234 million range. APY is still 77%. Sorry, I could not even talk right now. It is currently about 5:15 a.m., so I do apologize. But we do see the API still continuing at around that 70% zone, 234.8 million locked in. Don't know if this is actually going to update live, but let me check. So, yeah, so there's still, the demand here is like kind of slowing down in terms of staking, but 234.8 million is something pretty significant. I just think a lot of people don't want to stake right now in terms of Stater. And I totally get that because of the idea that like staked HBAR will be locked until V2 around July 2022. Also, a lot of individuals are probably waiting for staking to actually go live on the Hedera mainnet anyway. So, but we have been seeing some pretty interesting numbers. I mean, within a week, staking on HBAR has achieved some incredible numbers, as you guys do see here. 200 million plus HBAR staked, 4.9K unique wallets. 57K plus total transactions, 43K plus average HBAR staked per unique wallet, and of course, 5 million plus highest HBAR staked in a single transaction. So again, incredible numbers from Stater. I think that when we talk about the actual demand behind staking, it's going to continue to grow. But I will say this: the number one crucial thing that I want to see from Hedera going forward is a focus on marketing. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. The Hedera marketing sucks. It is probably one of the worst aspects around Hedera. They have an incredible use case. They have incredible use cases. They have an incredible team, incredible ecosystem. But man, their marketing is probably one of the worst marketing tactics in this space to date. So I definitely do think that going forward they should focus on that area. Of course, let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Also, from the Hbar Foundation, we are excited to announce that Sail Finance is launching on Hedera with assistance from the Hbar Foundation. Sail and the Hbar Foundation are partnering up to tackle the future of customer relationship management. We do see CRM as a massive priority for both growing and established businesses in Web3 through CRM. Needs to become owner relationship management, ORM, as businesses engage with asset owners around their brand. Current legacy CRM systems are not adapted to this fundamental change. Through its platform, Sail Finance creates meaningful relationships with owners in both the digital and physical world. I think that this is going to be very good for the metaverse and also just like real world applications. But we also see here, as the world's first ORM solution, Sail allows brands to benefit from the power of NFTs and tokens to bring consumer engagement to the next level. So again, definitely pay a close attention to a lot of these other use cases that are happening within the Hbar Foundation. I was a little bit skeptical on some of the Hbar Foundation funds that they were releasing. I mean, there was a few use cases like Atkio, right? Like that was a use case that I was actually waiting for, to launch. Ended up launching on ERC20. Like, what is going on here? I do think that the Hbar Foundation needs to have in their contract a written verbal agreement that they utilize Hedera instead of ERC20. Why are these ERC20 tokens getting, development funds from the Hbar Foundation just for them to go over to Ethereum? It makes no sense. But let's talk about something pretty interesting now. Now we're going to shift our focus towards the Swift and Emtech stuff. So, number one, how would an inflationary economy react to issuing national e-cash when stablecoins are already in the game? While it's a topic on the table, some think focusing efforts on developing CBDC might be a better option. Now, I've been addressing CBDCs for a little bit of time. Retail CBDCs I do not like. Wholesale is totally fine. But we do see here, fitting the bill, U.S. Congress eyes e-cash as an alternative to a CBDC. From fiat banknotes to fractional reserve banking, the notion of what constitutes money in the U.S. has changed over time. But is the time right for e-cash? Now, I thought this was interesting because, again, when we talk about eCash, it really kind of brings me back to one thing. We're going to be addressing that here shortly. But, we do see an electronic version of the US dollar for use by the American public. How does this project fit into the existing US CBDC frameworks? Is Lynch's eCash a CBDC or not? Curiously, the specialist tasked with authoring the concept claim it isn't a true CBDC because it would be issued by the U.S. Treasury rather than the U.S. Federal Reserve, the central bank system. So again, when we talk about things happening, they're kind of comparing and contrasting CBDCs to e-money here. Is it online banking enough? Obviously, it is not. Honestly, online banking is garbage. I've said this multiple times. Like even online banking now, I still see the inefficiencies. Now the Fed's take is basically, we need to move forward on CBDCs, obviously, streamline this process, all debts public and private. One key difference between prospective eCash and the US dollar is that the latter is universally acceptable or accepted. If eCash mirrors the price of the dollar, a lot of people simply won't take it, preferring to get old-fashioned US dollar. Historically, such pegs have left central banks at the mercy of speculators. During the American Civil War, US fiat currency faced its first hurdle when people, flatly preferred gold and silver coins to printed money, resulting in price fluctuations. Eventually, the US dollar returned to gold and silver coinage. Over a century later, the French government under Charles de Gaulle succeeded in breaking the fixed $35 per ounce exchange rate between the US dollar and gold established at Bretton Woods. in the aftermath of World War II and in the 1990s. Again, this is basically just talking about pegs to the dollar. We do see here this party helps explain why legislators advocating eCash are so interested in making it as much like existing U.S. money in circulation as possible, because they don't want to utilize something that is going to underpin the U.S. dollar dominancy. But honestly, I think that the U.S. dollar dominancy is nearing its end stage. I think that we will see, digital money really kind of take the wheel there. Now let's talk about this. So eCash, e-money. Why is this interesting to Hedera? Well, we talk about Emtech, right? Emtech actually just recently overhauled their website, which I love to see. But modern central banking, as you guys do see, inclusive ecosystem. They're basically just talking about what they're really kind of building here. Regulatory innovation as well. You guys can see, everything within this and really kind of see what they're really kind of doing. Emtech for central banks, leveraging technology to digitize your environment. Again, really kind of just breaking down what they're really kind of focused on here. They added a few partners, by the way. MasterCard was one, which I thought was interesting. But let's talk about this. So, obviously partnered with Hedera Hashgraph. We've known this for a while. But here is where things get interesting. So their products, Emtech product suite, powering the future of central banking one solution at a time, digital regulation. This is that regulatory framework that they're basically building for central banks. But here we have digital cash. Solutions providing financial market stability by leveraging Emtech's modern infrastructure for CBDC to transition from paper to trusted tokens. This is where we do see e-money kind of being at the forefront of this. Now, modernizing your central bank infrastructure, enabling regulation, de-risking fintech, driving financial inclusion, and then enhancing communication. Again, we do see here, feature highlights, make your regulatory framework digital, digitize application processes, multi-department review, observe and supervise. Then, of course, digitize cash. This is where things get very interesting, because now we do see domestic and cross-border payments being, at the forefront here in terms of a major pain point, talking more so about trade and remittance settlement times. This is going to be real-time, cheaper payments, energy-efficient platform, enterprise-grade performance, payment modernization. In my opinion, a lot of this just sounds like, Hedera, especially when you look at enterprise-grade performance. Featured highlights as well. I mean, obviously it is focused on, CBDCs here, but I do remember a specific time where Emtech did not overhaul their website, and it was talking about e-money in general and e-cash. This is essentially what we are talking about anyways in terms of digital cash and CBDCs in general. I just think that Emtech will definitely play a pivotal role here. And it's not speculation at all. I think that when we were talking about, where they're focused at and what they're building right now, a lot of their connections, definitely, scream, hey, we're moving in on, CBDCs. Now, we don't know if, for example, the Fed is going to choose Emtech or not, but we can kind of say that either way, we know that Emtech will play a pivotal role in general for CBDCs, because it's not just all about the U.S. in general anyways. But let's talk about Hedera. So as we were seeing this and we talk about settlement, actually, I do want to address settlement a little bit, because guess what? I just talked to you guys about cross-border transactions I think it was like last month or like 2 weeks ago or so. Real-time intercontinental settlements using stablecoins. Cross-border transactions can take days to settle. Obviously, challenges, with legacy cross-border payment systems. Swift proposed stablecoin solution on Hedera, a live demonstration of the settlement process. Reason why I bring this up is because I believe that with Emtech, with Hedera, the power of these two combined will definitely disrupt the stablecoin area, but also disrupt the legacy cross-border payment system as well, and really kind of move in on CBDCs in general as well. I think that we need to really kind of take a step back and see where Hedera is positioning themselves. For example, on their roadmap on H2 2022, I seen something interesting, and that was support for the Swift SDK, support for the Swift programming language. I don't know why this would even be a thing unless they were trying to build out, Swift use cases that would be basically utilizing or be utilized by the Swift network. Now, I want you guys to understand that Swift is doing $5 trillion worldwide each day in volume. As you guys do see here, this is from the U.S. Department of Treasury. But we do see Swift messages direct the transfer of nearly $5 trillion worldwide a day. If we could just get a small slice of that, that's going to be something to really watch for. Now, obviously, a lot of this is still, years away, I would say, especially when we talk about like, well, I shouldn't even say years away. I would say like ISO 222 in November launches. By around like the 2023 to 2025 timeframe, we should already have a CBDC intact in terms of the wholesale market, which I think is going to be something to really kind of address and watch for. But Emtech is building out regulatory frameworks around this already. They are preparing this. I would say that they have already prepared for this, imminent future that's, basically marching closer and closer day by day. And like I said, them already working with, Hedera on a few things, more so Project New Dawn. We've talked about that. It really kind of starts the engine at the point on, at the starting line, if you will. And it really kind of shows you an in-depth view on where Hedera is positioned at with Emtech on this major crucial area. So definitely pay attention to Emtech and definitely pay attention to things that are unfolding within e-money and CBDCs and things like that. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.